One day, one funeral, one body that shouldn't exist. Detective Ko Gun-soo is Western District Homicide, a cop drowning in debt, dodging an internal affairs sweep, and burying his mother all in the same 24 hours. He's exhausted. He's been drinking. And he's driving home alone on a dark, empty road when something steps into his headlights. Impact. He stops the car, calls out, "Hey, mister." No answer. He steps closer, and that's when the tactical reality sets in. This isn't a deer, and it isn't a drunk pedestrian who'll walk it off. It's a man, and the man is dead. This is the moment the entire film pivots on. A homicide detective, someone trained to read a crime scene, is now standing inside one he created. He has seconds to make a decision that will define the next 90 minutes of his life. He chooses concealment. He loads the body into his trunk. Within minutes, the first checkpoint appears, a DUI stop. This is a controlled choke point, officers funneling every vehicle through a single inspection lane, no room to maneuver, no route around it. Ko's badge buys him hesitation, not clearance. The officer smells alcohol on his breath. Ko deploys his only available leverage, grief. It's my mother's funeral. It buys him seconds, not safety. Then the second officer arrives and escalates. He demands a verbal ID number, a live verification with zero paper trail to fake. Ko stumbles, recites 14 digits instead of 13. In any verification protocol, that's a hard flag. The officers move to detain him, then to search the vehicle, then the trunk. This is the highest tension beat in the entire act. A sealed trunk, a body inside, two officers reaching for the release. Ko fights, gets pinned, gets cuffed, and is saved only by a radio call from HQ confirming his identity arrives in the final second before the lid lifts. The body stays hidden by pure timing, not by skill. That distinction matters. Ko isn't winning yet. He's surviving on margins this thin. He arrives home to a second front already collapsing. Internal Affairs has raided his unit, a list of dirty cops, names, bribe amounts. His own name attached to $3,500 is already in enemy hands. Every officer in his unit is now a liability to every other officer. This is the second pressure system closing on him simultaneously, corruption exposure stacking directly on top of a hidden homicide. He cannot report one crime without surfacing the other. His sister is calling. His daughter wants a cake he forgot to buy. His informants are texting warnings about IAD movement. Multiple threads, multiple clocks, and one detective with a corpse in his car parked outside his own mother's wake. By the time the funeral procession reaches the chapel, Ko has run out of buffer. He needs a window, unsupervised, unmonitored, to permanently relocate the body, so he manufactures one. He requests a private moment alone with his mother's casket. The staff grant it. What they don't know is that grieving is cover for an operational task. He's using his mother's coffin as the new concealment site for the man he killed. This is the tactical core of the film's first half. A detective using funeral protocol itself as the perfect blind spot. No one searches a casket. No one questions a grieving son. He's exploiting the one space society agrees not to violate. But concealment creates new exposure. A security guard hears noise inside the locked chapel, calls it in, requests camera access. For several agonizing seconds, Ko is one keycard away from discovery, saved only because the feed can't see inside the chapel itself, and the guard chooses to wait rather than force entry immediately. Then the body itself becomes the threat. Mid-transfer, it convulses. The man isn't fully dead. Ko is now fighting a live struggle inside a coffin, in a public funeral home, with mourners and staff feet away. He's forced to finish what the car accident started, with his hands, in silence, beside his mother's body. This is the sequence the entire film hinges its horror on, not the kill itself, but the brutal, prolonged cover-up of it. He gets the casket sealed and loaded. Mourners weep. No one suspects a thing. Tactically, the operation succeeds, but at a psychological cost the script never lets him put down. Then Internal Affairs delivers what looks like a resolution. The bribery case is settled, money confiscated, no charges filed. Ko thinks the worst friend of his ward just collapsed peacefully. It hasn't. A staged explosives demonstration outside the precinct, a public relations stunt for the new commissioner, detonates early. The blast destroys Ko's new car, the exact vehicle holding trace evidence from the original hit and run. On the surface, this reads as bad luck, Tactically, it's something else. With the evidence vehicle gone, Ko's last physical link to the crime scene is erased before investigators ever reach it. Luck is doing the work his planning couldn't, but the net is already tightening from another angle. A patrol officer is independently pulling hit-and-run reports from the night of the 21st, a body removed from the scene in someone's trunk, called in by an anonymous payphone tip. Ko's own partner volunteers to review the security footage personally, unaware he's about to reconstruct his colleague's crime frame by frame. Brake lights, impact point, a black sedan, a partial plate. Then the call comes, not from a cop, not from IAD, from someone who already knows everything. The car, the plate, the name. Black Lotsa's Ko Gun-soo. A voice on the other end of an unknown number, asking the one question Ko has been running from since minute one. Where did you put the body? The hunter has just become the hunted. The caller finally identifies himself, not by name, but by rank. He's a cop. Lieutenant Park Chang-min. Worse, he's already inside Ko's chain of command, close enough to shake his hand at the station and call himself the savior, who once helped clear Ko's unit with internal affairs. The blackmailer was never outside the perimeter. He was standing inside it the whole time. Park doesn't want money. He wants the body. Specifically, he wants what's hidden on it. That single demand reframes the entire crisis. This was never about Ko's guilt. It was about access. Ko goes hunting for answers the only way he knows how, through the food chain beneath Lee Guan. He runs an unauthorized phone trace on a known associate, drags the man down from a rooftop chase, and threatens him at the edge of a ledge in a mock execution interrogation. Pure pressure tactics. No warrant, no oversight. It works. The man breaks. The truth comes out in pieces. Park ran a parallel empire, stolen narcotics, brothels, a private fortune locked behind a single key. Lee was Park's own lieutenant, until Lee robbed him and vanished with the cash and the keys sewn into his body. Which means the man Ko killed wasn't an accident victim. He was already a target, and possibly already dead, before Ko's car ever touched him. Then comes the detail that recontextualizes everything. Bullet holes in the corpse. Ko didn't just hit a pedestrian that night. He ran over a body that had already been shot. Someone else fired first. Ko was never the only killer in this story, just the one left holding the evidence. Cornered, Ko turns to the one person he trusts inside the department, his commanding officer, Choi Sang-ho, and lays it all out. The blackmail, the corpse, Park's name. It's the first time in the entire film Ko surrenders the illusion of control and asks for backup. Tactically, this is the correct move. It's also the move Park anticipated. Within minutes, Park is on the phone again, and this time the threat isn't abstract. He's standing outside Ko's own house, near his daughter. The ultimatum lands with surgical precision. Dig up Lee, deliver him by 6 a.m., or the family pays the price. Park has converted Ko's home, the one space that was supposed to be safe, into another exposed perimeter. Ko evacuates his daughter and sister to a hotel under the cover story of a birthday trip, signs out a duty weapon loaded with blanks, and drives to make the trade alone. This is the calculated risk of a man with no remaining leverage. He's negotiating with an armed extortionist using an unloaded gun, because the only thing he actually controls anymore is the body in the trunk. The handoff itself plays out like a controlled exchange between hostile units. Distance held, hands checked, the corpse passed across the open ground. Park inspects the bullet wounds personally and delivers the reveal Ko already feared. Park shot Lee first. Ko only finished what was already in motion. It's a meaningless distinction in any courtroom, and Park knows it. Guilt in this story isn't about who pulled which trigger. It's about who's left holding the body when the lights come on. Then Park raises the stakes one final time, pointing his own weapon at Ko and goading him to fire. Ko's gun holds blanks. He doesn't know that the threat is empty in his own favor. Park has staged the whole exchange as a loyalty test, a timed email set to detonate every secret. The drug trade, the brothels, 2 homicides, straight to the department by morning, if anything happens to him. Killing Park solves nothing. It only accelerates the exposure. So Park doesn't kill Ko. He recruits him. We're on the same boat, he says. The blackmail was never just extortion. It was an audition. Park wants Ko inside the operation, not buried by it. Ko walks away. It doesn't end there. What follows is the most violent stretch of the film, an extended, multi-level pursuit brawl that drags Ko, Park, and the rest of the unit through stairwells, parking structures, and open drops. Blow for blow, fall for fall. Somewhere in that chaos, Detective Choi, the one ally Ko trusted with the truth, is killed. The exact mechanics are chaotic and fast, but the result isn't ambiguous. One more body added to a pile that started with a single drunk driving accident. Park 2 goes down hard in the same sequence, taunting Ko about breaking the diving record, moments before the violence catches up to him permanently. By the time it's over, the operation that started with one hidden corpse has produced an officer's death, a criminal's death, and a paper trail of narcotics, brothels, and homicide that no one in the department can survive intact. The institution does what institutions do. It protects itself. Command quietly catalogs every crime, the drugs, the brothel, 2 killings, stolen evidence, and concludes bluntly that the truth will bury us all. The decision is made above Ko's head. Bury it instead. Chief Jang is ordered to take the whole thing to his grave. He agrees. For Ko personally, survival comes at the cost of his career. His chief tries to talk him out of resigning, reminding him that a pension was the entire point of becoming a cop in the first place. But the deal that keeps him out of prison requires him to disappear quietly from the force. He hands his severance to his dead partner's mother. He has no other currency left to give. What's left is domestic and quiet by comparison, tending his mother's grave with his sister and brother-in-law, half joking about opening a toast truck outside the station, his daughter saying goodbye to her grandmother's headstone. For a moment, the film lets him have something close to peace. Then the final scene resets the entire moral framework. Time has passed. Ko walks into the brothel everyone has been chasing all film, Private Piggy Bank, not as a detective making an arrest, but as a man with a key, withdrawing everything from the safe Park once protected with violence and Lee once died for. No badge, no warrant, just possession. The detective who spent one impossible day burying evidence of his own crime ends the film exactly where Park once stood, owning the operation he was blackmailed into touching. One hard day didn't end the cycle.